You guys, let's get into the podcast. This is the Future Classics. These are the movies we think 10 years from now we're going to look back at, and we're going to be doing Millennial Classic podcasts on the movies on this list. So let's start off with 10 through 6, and let's fly through these, Mumbury. Let's go back and forth like a quick tennis match. Talk to me about your 10 through 6. You go with
10 was honestly the hardest because I got a lot of honorable mentions. 10, I'm going to go through for the surprise of the year, Dungeons and Dragons.
I have 10 as my number 5. My number 6, so that would have been 11. It would have been the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We must use stealth and cunning to infiltrate the human world and retrieve Go-Gurt.
Okay, Batman.
Dude, what? I'm just trying to hype you guys up.
But my number 10 is D&D.
What
madness is this?
Yeah, and I only watched it because you told me about it when we did our list halfway through the year.
It is so fun. Like, if this movie had no Dungeons and Dragons thing and it was just literally just like mythical movie,
heist?
I feel like people would have just been like, this is a great movie, like all this shit. But now that it's Dungeons and Dragons and
like,
dice
fuck
rolling
those nerds.
and all this bullshit, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But Chris Pine he's like the guy that you're like, this dude should be super famous. He's so charismatic.
It's weird that he not.
Has the Star Wars. He starts the Star Trek.
Yeah,
and it's like that's it.
I'm the best, Chris.
And he's a beautiful man. Like, he looks like a superstar.
Chris Pratt gets a lot of roles.
Unnecessarily. Yeah, it's weird.
Like,
it really
Chris
is.
Pine, who's your agent? You know, it's another one of those, who's your agent? Dungeons and Dragons is the type of movie that you wish they just made 5 over a year. And we all just went to go see him. So, yeah, that's my number 10. What's your number 10? Oh,
that's also my number 10. So I'm going to jump to my number 9. It is cheating, but it was just like the action movies of my year was John Wick and the Mission Impossible.
Okay, let's not talk about Mission Impossible now, but let's talk about John Wick.
Ready, John?
Yeah.
I don't know if I was talking to you about this, but John Wick is basically a superhero. He's indestructible.
It's the best superhero movie of the year.
In that movie, I started to get frustrated at, like, this is just silly. The man has killed 1,000 people in chapter 4 alone. Forget about the 3 previous movies. If you're just trying to turn your brain off and watch something exciting, you turn on John Wick.
It's such a fun movie to watch, but when you start thinking about it, like the first couple movies, at least they were kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
John Wick 4 got to the point where I was like, why do they follow rules so much when this guy can literally kill everyone on the planet? Like, they are super into rules. Like you flip cards and you have to kill with this blade and meet at this time and meet on this hill. Yeah. And I'm like, but it's John Wick.
It's John Wick.
This dude has proven time and time again that he could literally kill anybody on the planet. Who is this high table? Why do they hang out in this Arabian desert? That seems so impractical. He hangs out with cushions in Dubai. I just don't get what's going on.
1,000 degrees outside. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
My 9, Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay, let's not talk about that right now.
Okay.
It's on my top 5.
My number 8 is Barbie.
Okay. That's my number 7. So good for you.
Great movie. It's just, I think when I saw it, it was probably like a top 5, and then it's just slipped further and further back. Fun movie. Greta Gerwig did way more than I ever expected for a Barbie 100%. Movie. Acting is great. I don't know how many awards are going to win. If anyone is going to win something, I guess it would be Ryan Gosling or Greta.
So I'm not worried about it. Not now, Margaret. Let's shake on this. We're going to make a lot.
But Oppenheimer just seems like it's going to win everything.
But what you're saying about Barbie, it was a good time. Like, it was a good time in the theater.
A phenomenon.
Exactly. And that's the thing. For those folks who've been with us for a bit, that's the only movie that I went out to talk to the people. People were dressed up for the movie. People were excited. People were going to see a double feature, both of which would take like a 6-hour length of your day. It was an event. I'm just going to cheat here. My number 6 was Oppenheimer. My number 7 was Barbie. So I kind of had Barbenheimer, those two.
Yeah.
We just skipped my 8.
Yeah, talk about your 8.
My 8 is The Boy in the Heron.
Boy in the Heron. I haven't seen it yet.
Miyazaki. Beautiful. You guys know I love my anime. You see my One Piece reactions. He deserves all the credit in the world. He knows how to tell a story through animation that means so much, with animation that makes you. It's a very beautiful watch and a good story to boot.
Okay, and then what's your number 7?
Told you 7 was Barbie, 6 was Oppenheimer.
Okay, so let's not talk about Oppenheimer yet. My 7 was Spider-Verse.
Oh wow. Okay.
How are you even cooler under your mask?
I was just cool the whole time.
Let's not talk about Spider-Verse.
Okay, and then my 6 was The Killer.
The Killer?
The Killer. David Fincher, Michael
I don't know.
Fassbender.
Oh,
It
this
was
is the
on
Netflix. Everyone's talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Never yield an advantage.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. David Fincher. He's probably my favorite director. Nah, this is not my favorite David Fincher movie. It's probably not even my favorite Michael Fassbender movie, but this movie is so well made. It's actually really funny. The
It's
action
funny?
scenes,
Like comedy?
like in like a pay attention kind of way. It's funny.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll give it a shot.
The action is crazy good. There's a couple action scenes where it's up there with the scenes of the year. Like, honestly, if we're talking best scenes of the year, it'd be in my top 3. Best action scenes of the year, this movie has it. Just so well made. It flies by. And that you honestly can't say that about a lot of movies this year. There's a lot of movies where even as good as they are, looking at you, Killers of the Flower Moon, you just keep looking at your fucking watch. Right. So to say that the killer flies by, great. What's your number 6?
I told you, Barbie and
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, 6 and 7.
Okay.
I'm ready to
Yeah,
get
so-
into the meats. I'm ready to
Okay,
get
let's
into
get
the
into the meats.
of
And
this.
I guarantee you this movie is not in your top 5. It's not in your top 10.